Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Airport Duel between Axis playing as second Panzergren, a division we've not seen him on before, and he's going up against gnef on his alt account. Gnef backwards is Feng. A lot of people didn't get that. And he's playing as 27Y, so we'll talk about the deck reviews, then we'll cover the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Axis, and he's playing second Panzergren. It's a div we haven't seen him on before. So in this video, I go through Axis's second Panzergren deck, and nothing has changed. As you can see, nothing has changed. So I'll link this one in the description, and then you can just watch that, because there's no point me repeating myself, you know, for 20 minutes or what have you. Switching to his opponent's deck, we've got gnef, and he's playing 27Y, so I'm having a lot of discussions about 27Y recently. They did get buffed in that the BMP3s, you can have them at 2 vet now and get 4 per card, so the availability curve on those BMP3s went up. So this was 854 before, so whatever the Puma cheeky one is. 753 maybe, or 854, something like that. No, it must have been 753 because this is better now. So you can bring them at 2 vet. Whether or not you should bring 8 BMP3s is up to you, but I guess that's sort of the idea behind the division. I've been playing it a lot recently as well. But yeah, just going through this, basically he's got 8 down-vetted T80 BVs, which is a terrible idea, and no military police, whatever, to try and buff that up, so that's not very good. And yeah, so the Tor got buffed, the Tor has more range now, so maybe that's worth bringing, but I mean, this is just like too much AP here, basically, so yeah, bring the Tors if you want, bring the Tunguskas if you want. This did get cheaper, right? And then, great, we've just saved 2 AP. I'd upvet the Iglas at the bare minimum. Helis, so that's a 2-point slot, right? And so he's brought the TAM, so you can do something funny at the start with the TAM, and that relies on you having this recon healer, so you do need that. But, like, look at... he's spending a lot of AP here. That's 3 AP, and then his tanks are at no vet, which is just a terrible idea, so... I'd be 2 vetting those. And, yeah, you can bring the Motor Strokey RPG 26 if you want. But, I mean, where to even start? So, so he's got 3 howitzers. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well just bring the 2 up-vetted Acacias, right? This is for smoke, presumably. That's what I use it for. I think, honestly, it would be better if I just showed you my deck rather than just turning this into my deck, right? So, this is my 27Y. So you see I've got 3 cards of supply and I bring a Grad. I'm not actually sure if that's such a good idea anymore. The Grad is nice, but generally the main issues you're facing these days are small ATGM teams and MMG teams. And the grads, 1 grad volley to kill a 15-point unit, it's not really ideal. So one thing I would do is change this up to probably that instead, right? So if we just take a look at some of the differences, so I've got 3 cards of supply, although now that I've got 2 up-vetted Acacias, I probably don't need the 3rd card of supply. So we can get rid of that, and then I'll have 2 AP, and then I can, down vet this. Interesting. And now the Tor has been buffed, I can put the Tor in, get rid of that, and now I've got 4 AP, and now I can get 2 more TABVs, right? Got a lot of tanks. And then the 1 remaining AP slot, it's not the end of the world, right? So... Oh, well, I mean, I suppose it would go there, right? So there you go, max vet known as hooray. But you sort of see what's going on here, right? So he's got a lot of highly vetted infantry, and then his TABVs were at no vet, and I think that's a huge mistake, and he had too much AA. I've already changed this, right, and I saved it, so we can't actually see what it was. Whereas the thing I've gone for is up-vetted tanks and one-vetted infantry. So the BMP2 AG is something which he's not actually bringing. So if you compare the BMP3, right? So BMP3 is 100 points, and it's got a gun that only fires against infantry, an autocannon which is pretty good, and this 2,800 meter repairer thing, and 3 PKTs. So if you get in PKT range, you do a lot of damage, but you don't want to be in PKT range because you actually want to be far away so you can use the anti-infantry tank gun and the ATGMs, right? So it's a bit of a juxtaposition there. Whereas for 30 points less, you do get a worse autocannon, although the effect against infantry is identical. It's just the penetration's different. You get a worse ATGM, and you get a grenade launcher, right? So the grenade launcher is pretty good against the infantry. You do get less armor and stuff, and it's 30 points less, right? It's like 1/3 of the price is reduced by 1/3. And it's still very good against infantry because you get the grenade launcher. So I think the BMP2 AG is good, and I actually only bring one card of BMP3s, which these days I will now bring at 1 vet. But yeah, this idea behind having all this stuff at 2 vet and then having the tanks at no vet, I just don't think is a good idea because, like, for starters, you don't actually need that many of these, right? Your BMP3 is your light tank equivalent, and so if you're bringing this, you actually want it to perform, and if it's at Nova, it gets hit by 1 ATGM and that's it, it's gone for 7 minutes, so you'd rather have it back in 3 minutes after taking 2 ATGM hits or whatever. So yeah, you'd see that there is some overlap, right? The cheap CV is nice because you can get it out to places, you can buy 2 at the start. The Nonas for smoke because they're self-propelled smoke, but you do need them at 1 vet to have a consistent patch of smoke, 1 vet minimum. And yeah, I mean 2 vet Razved can be MP2. Why, right? I mean, why not just bring this at 1 vet or even no vet? Because the point is that it's got mediocre stealth, right? And then you can get rid of this, and then you've got 5 AP, and then wow, what do you know? You've now got, where you had 8 tanks before, you've now got 6 tanks that actually work. And, you know, you can put that extra 2 AP wherever you want, really. I'm surprised by the amount of helicopters. But yeah, I don't agree with this sort of 3 howitzer strat, but we'll see how it goes. Because these you have to sort of tow around everywhere. I mean, they are nice. They've got the range, which makes the dispersion circle quite small at long ranges. The Conkers in the BTR-80, I prefer it in the UAS because it makes it cheaper, and, you know, generally this is going in quite a defensive position, and this won't be immediately useful all the time, but the main thing is it makes it cheaper. Like, this is 100 points. That's a personal preference thing, but yeah, 3 howitzers with 2 cards of supply with all the tanks. Yeah. The other thing you could do is, what exactly? You could get rid of Hilo, right? The AA Hilo, I think, is kind of dog. I wouldn't bother with it, frankly. Why? You could get more tanks, right? Or you can get this. This thing's really useful for helping your tanks actually see stuff because it's got exceptional optics, right? And then you can, you know, whatever, you can, if you really want these, you can do that. I believe I bring that. If I don't, it really should be there. Yeah, because how else are your tanks going to see anything? The Razvedka BMP2 only has good optics, which isn't... Good optics aren't good, they're pretty bad. And then these guys, they have ground surveillance radar, but they're not going to be in position, so you really want this, the BRM-1K. It's great for getting the exceptional optics up. But in general, I mean, 27Y, not an amazing div. You see, I bring 2 cards of fighters because you can't rely on... Because he had, like, 5 cards of AA or 6 cards of AA. Well, what's the point? The Tort is apparently better now. It's got more range. We'll see how that performs in-game. And yeah, this thing's pretty nice for helping to protect your tanks and stuff. And the TAM's for the funny business. Basically, you open with one of these, which he couldn't do because he doesn't bring the second fighter card. So you'd have to open with one of these, which is admittedly only 15 points more. And then the TAM. The TAM can get a lot of work done because it's got 8 salvos, it fires 2 at once. So 8 salvos, it's pretty nice. Also, something like this is a lot better now because the high altitude bombs drop faster. So this can actually hit the enemy, and this is still useless, don't bother. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the matchup, the deployments of the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, in terms of the map, Airport, basically red side is better if you have airborne forward deployment, or if you don't have airborne forward deployment and your opponent doesn't have airborne forward deployment. And the reason for that is that basically blue, if they have airborne forward deployment, can actually contest Echo in a way that red can't really contest Foxtrot if they have airborne forward deployment. If both sides have airborne forward deployment, then that effect is negated, but sometimes you do end up on matchups like this is the perfect example actually, although he's not taking advantage of it. Second Panzergren gets airborne forward deployment and 27 wide doesn't. So second Panzergren can come down here at the start and actually get in this zone and start hiding behind these buildings, get in here, and this is red zone. If that isn't the case, then red side is better, and that's because Papa is a lot easier to attack than Alpha, and as the game goes late, or past this sort of initial deployment rush phase, Foxtrot is a lot harder to defend than Echo, and that's because there's only a few buildings here, right? Whereas Echo, it's a lot deeper, there's a lot more fallback, there's plenty of fallback positions here, whereas Blue doesn't really have that. They've just got this narrow strip of buildings, right? And then this, I suppose. And, this isn't really in a position to help too much, but it can help as well. Whereas red has, first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, and this on the side, and this back here, right? And yeah, Papa's a lot easier to attack than Alpha is, so if red has airborne forward deployment and blue doesn't, which is not the case here, red can come and set up in here at the start, and then they'll get all this, and then they can pressure Papa. Basically, they've just got to get forwards a few zones, smoke this up, and then they're in. In terms of the matchup itself, second Panzergren is a lot better than 27Y. 27Y got some buffs recently, but, sorry. 27Y got some buffs recently, but it's still not that amazing. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what's up with me today. And the second Panzergren's the best division in the game for 1v1, hands down. It's either that or 20th Polish. In fact, this guy believes it's 20th Polish, so maybe not hands down. But no, I think second Panzergren's better, particularly in 1v1. Yeah. So let's have a look at the deployments. We've got some Spetsrazvedka here, so this is recon forward deployment. It's got ground surveillance radar. It comes in a BTR-80, which is quite expensive because it's got smoke and 2 armor. So it's got to cost more than a BTR-60 PB, so it costs 5 points more, but then 35 points is a lot. It is really fast, though. Basically, you can use them to go around the sides and stuff, right? Go through places that people don't have stuff, and you can snipe things. But a lot of people, they don't use the speed, and then they complain that, ooh, I'd rather have a BMP-1. Well, if you're just fighting head-to-head, yes, the BMP-1 will win for 35 points, right? But the BTR-80 can outmaneuver the BMP-1. But yeah, basically, bad players don't appreciate speed. So then we got Spetsrazvedka for middle, with that ground surveillance radar, so exceptional optics when it stood still. And then a regular Razvedka going to here. I'm quite surprised by that. Usually people put it on this road and they go for this one, but yeah, I guess this is good because if somebody comes down this road, you can blow them up with a rocket launcher, and you can fall back, and you can see plenty actually, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. Then on the left, we've got 2 Motor Strelky Metis, and they're actually going to the same place. And they're at 2 vet by default. His infantry is very highly vetted. like most of it's 2 vet. This is giving it 3 vet because it's near it. And then we've got the Tors, 2 Tors. Tors are kind of crap. They did buff them a bit, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, MTLB going to Echo, and then MTLB going to Alpha Zulu. Then we've got what is this, man? So a supply going to mid, and then 5 30mm grenade launchers. One here, one here, one here, one here. I think that's massive overkill. If he just bought 1 BMP or 2 BMP2s, maybe. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a very defensive deployment, essentially. Metis, 2 Conkers, 3 Conkers, and then 2 Tors. So it's a very defensive deployment. No mobility in it. But as you'll know from the deck review, he brings his T80 BVs at no vet, which is a terrible mistake, frankly. Switching to his opponent, we got Axis on 2nd Panzergren. Yeah, he's not taking advantage of this forward deployed rush into Echo, even though he can do it. He's just not taking advantage of that. So he's got a forward deployed Milan 2, forward deployed Recon, like airborne forward deployment, so it gets there faster, forward deployed CV, forward deployed Recon here. And then on the left we got so he gets these he gets these AA guns. The Zvillinger is better than the ZU-23. That was a funny conversation actually. He said it wasn't, and then somebody just posted the stats. And so yeah, it is better than the ZU-23. But yeah, towed AA guns did get nerfed. They do like half damage against infantry. You don't really notice. They're still really, really good. In fact, I don't even know if it's actually worked. But yeah, he's sending them here, but he's not unloading them, which is interesting. The auto cell is on. And then he's got 4 Leopard 1A1A1s and a Racist for the exceptional optics. Then on the right, we got 3 Marder 1A3 Milans, not being unloaded, a Gepard, and a Sultan. But yeah, they're not on attack move orders, which is interesting, actually. Also, there was actually a Milan 2 here. But he's putting them both in the same building, which is a really bad idea, frankly, because 1 howitzer round can kill them both, or 1 bomber, or 1 rocket plane. Generally, you want them spread out. So, you know, the ATGM can go in there. And the Recon you can put in here, the church, because it can see further than atheists. And same on this side, you would put you can put the ATGM there if you want, and then you'd have the Recon a building next to it, or 2 buildings next to it, because if they bomb here, they'll probably kill both anyway. And it just stops you from losing 2 things to 1 thing. Anyways, let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. 1 join at the lowest level's worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. Otherwise, please just like the video, it's free. And every time you do that, YouTube recommends it to like 10 more people, so it's a great thing to do. But yeah, I mean, this is it's an interesting matchup. Basically, 27Y is very bad versus 2nd Panzergren in general, because 2nd Panzergren gets a much better early game with the Leopard 1A5s and so on, and it gets better AA, and it gets better planes, and it gets better artillery, and it gets better... what else it get better? I mean, the infantry in terms of the forward... the infantry itself is better on 2nd Panzergren, although Axis doesn't bring the Pioneers or the Pioneer cargo stuff for some reason. But yeah, 27Y is better at super long ranges, so out of all the maps in rotation, this is the one where 27Y has the best chance. So that obviously didn't work, but you see the idea, right? If that had fired, these would be dead, both of them. And so that's why you don't put them both in the same building, because it's a bad idea. So he's coming back around, but he's noticed and he's moving out, and they both died to 1 thing. So I'm glad that was put there as an example, right? That's a good example. You'll notice he's got these on defensive, so they will automatically smoke if they can't see the... But yeah, he gets better fighters as well, gets better bombers. I think I already said those 2. But yeah, I mean, out of all the places he could be doing this, this is basically the worst. I mean, gnef has like just like 3 conquer. Where's the third one? It's over here. He's just sort of walking into it. I'm not quite sure why he's doing this. So this needs to get out of the building now, or it's gonna die. And yeah, I mean, this is... I'm not quite sure why he's doing this. Anyway, so gnef is counter-attacking. He loses a motor stroke in a vehicle there, which is not ideal. These are just sort of chilling, I guess. And yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. It's just an interesting idea. We'll see if he notices this Panzer Grenadier here, otherwise the Razvedka's going to kill it. Razvedka... Oh, it's been given a move order, not an attack move order, so it's not actually going to... What a joke! If he was just paying a bit more attention there, could have swapped the order or jumped in this building and he would have killed that, but instead he just drives right past him. What a disaster. Anyway, BTR-80's in the open against Marder 1A3 Milans. I honestly think this was a mistake from gnef. He's actually, you know, he's on the +1, and the only way I think he wins this is if he takes it late. So the double Tor, remember Tors have just been buffed. Wow. So we got 1 hit there. And yeah, the rocket plane's coming back and there's 2 guys in the building, so he's not learnt his lesson yet, basically. So he's moving them... Okay, he's moving 1 out and 1 back in for a total of still 2 left in the building. So that was an interesting decision. And then there goes the Milan. I mean, so he knows about the Gepard, so gnef's really got to land this right now, otherwise the tornado's probably going to kill it. Okay. This does have 30% ECM, but you expect at least one of those to hit. And the Tor's not quite in position there, but yeah, this was a mistake from gnef. 27Y, you have to play it super slow, because you need to buy the T80 BVs, you need to buy the artillery, and you need to just grind the enemy down. You know, you need to get the BMP3s and stuff. Rushing doesn't make too much sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, 2nd Panzergren still scales super duper well. It's the strongest div in 1v1 for a reason. Has he just bought 2 more and put them in the exact same space? I mean, what a gaff. 3rd time lucky, I guess. He's had that happen to him twice now, and he's still... But yeah, I mean, this is going to die to a Panzerfaust 3, so... Okay, so smoke. Okay, never mind. Not sure what's going on in this game, really. You notice these are on defensive as well. That means they automatically smoke if... So yeah, my explanation was interrupted. If you're being shot at by something and your unit can't see it, it will automatically smoke and reverse if it's on defensive. If it's on aggressive, it will try and run up to the enemy, or it will smoke and reverse depending on what's happening. So you see the advantage of the... That's very funny. Core moment there. But yeah, before they buffed him, I didn't even bother bringing him. What's the point? I'll try him now that they've buffed him, and I'll probably take him out again. This is a mistake. This should be in the building, really, because it's just going to get burst down. Okay, so he pops the smoke and he goes up. I think I'd go for this one, really, but I mean, the smoke should cover him, but I don't understand this mindset. Why is he just running into the... Also, he's brought the wrong conkers. Actually, yeah, I can't believe I didn't notice that in the deck review. He's brought the wrong conkers. 27Y gets access to the Conkers M, which is much better because it's got 23 pen. It does cost more. The big advantage of the Conkers M is that it one-shots Leopard once. Imagine how this would be going if he was one-shotted Leopard once. So this is one of those matchups where actually having the Conkers M is a huge advantage. In my deck, I bring the Conkers M. It is so much more useful. At the very least, he does have the Conkers M wheeled vehicle. The ATGM carrier. I'm not sure what that was doing there. Okay. Oh dear. But yeah, you see the issue with 27Y's AA. It's really not very good. So yeah, he's turned off the gun there. It can still fire these missiles without the without having the radar on, but... Yeah, I don't understand why gnef keeps pushing it. He doesn't have to do that. he's in a good position, and he's got 3 howitzers in the tank. He brings his tanks at no vet, which is a bit weird, but he does have 8 of them. And, like, why is he just running into the enemy and dying with his late-game division? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, to revisit a thought that got interrupted before, like, this guy's literally just ran out of ammo because he's done it so many times. To revisit a thought that I came to before, obviously second Panzergren does scale very well. He's done it again! This is the 4th time we've seen him do this. Wow, okay, this might die, actually. Gepper's going to get a really nice volley off on it there. And then a 3rd one. Okay. I don't understand it personally, but yeah, Conker's M Infantry ATGM, really, really useful against Leopard 1s because it one-shots them. And yeah, I bring that on my version of 27th. So, okay, so we can smoke with the BTR-80 here to save the KPVT. This is a terrible idea, why is he doing that? So he's only got 2 fighters, because he didn't bring his 2nd fighter card, so you got to be very careful with them. And he just sort of YOLO'd it into the Beaupar and died. And he knows the enemy's got this because it came out before over here, right? So yeah, this thing's really nice, very nice artillery piece. That's why I think 2nd Panzergren's got the better arty, because 27th it's got the laser Acacia, and for the same price it's basically got lower dispersion, but the advantage of the M110 is that it's got low enough dispersion and it will just kill you because the damage is so much higher. I can hear another plane coming, so yeah, he's going to strafe the helo, I guess. But yeah, basically you should just always leave the guns off on this. As soon as you buy it, the gun should go off. But yeah, I mean, it's working out for gnef. He's ignoring the advice, which he can't hear because this game happened in the past, and he's pushed up. So it's not the way I'd play 27. I'd just play it super slow, get the massive AA net up, and then buy 80 BV, hide it in the AA net to kill all the planes, right? But he's gone for quite an aggressive deployment here. And Axis not noticing the Conkers have moved up this much, but yet there's not enough AA here, basically. You know, 2 Igloos and a Tunguska isn't going to stop the bomber. This isn't moving between shots. Very, very intelligent gameplay, this. So he knows Artie's going to come kill me, so he moves after he shoots. And he uses the BTR-80 to do that. He does need to smoke with it, or it's going to die. And I mean, this is a 65-point plane, and he keeps doing that. Okay. Sorry, 65-point helo, and he keeps... Oh no, this is why you don't bunch up your stuff, guys. I mean, that's 2 Igloos gone now. And, yeah, you see the Zwillinger can actually beat a BTR-80. Probably can't beat 2, as you can see. And this is at 2 vet, which helps, right? It is at low cohesion, though, but, you know... Because let's say this had 10% accuracy. They're all messed up because of the cohesion, but... If you have 20% accuracy, you have twice the DPS. Your damage output's 2 times. 10% to 20%, right? So you might think it's not a big difference, but it is. So T8M coming out here. If you put this on defensive, it just kind of lobs its missiles. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see, actually. So I don't know why that's there, really, but it is. And that it's going to die now, I guess, unless he notices. For some reason the... Okay, this is probably dead. Yeah, just not enough AA here, really, and him wasting his fighter, and he's not moving this, and then this, he didn't evac that, and he's not landing this. That's going to probably go down as well. What a disaster. What a disaster. Yeah. You'll notice he upvetted the Tor as well, so he only had 2, and they both just died. Or they died at the start. Hasn't just happened. But yeah, gnef's basically playing this like 11E, because he plays a lot of 11E and the Spanish div. 27Y, you can't play it like that. You have to play it super duper slowly because it just can't. I mean, obviously, I say it can't. It is working currently, but you know, I can hear another plane coming, and he's taking big losses basically. Walks that conquers it as well to give the enemy a fighting chance, and yeah, okay, so this is his last fighter, so he's got to be very careful how he uses this. He did actually get the F4F. Don't know if it was with the fighter or with the Tunguska or what, but something got it. Yeah, I mean, he's getting somewhere, but this is not an easy nut to crack. There's a lot here. Basically, you gotta get to here. You gotta get 80 gems in here. You gotta take this. Otherwise, you just keep getting shot in the side. But you can tell he's playing it like it's 11E. I mean, he's just wheeling these BTR-80s everywhere, and every time they die, that's 35 points gone. He is moving his AA after it shoots, which is good because the counter battery is there. It looks like the M110 still has 1 round left. And as for Axis, he needs Jaguar 1s. I'm very surprised he hasn't brought them. They're in his deck. For some reason he upvets them as well, I don't know why. But yeah, Jaguar 1 here, Jaguar 1 here, Jaguar 1 here. The advantage of those is that they have... right, well that's just dead, I think. Because it gets stunned and then it spins around in circles and dies, so... There it goes. So he sends in the next one to get hit by the same Gepard, I suppose. What? This is a game between 2 former rank 1 players, by the way. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I suppose it's much easier to just sit here and point out the mistakes than it is to play it yourself. This one's actually going to make it. Yeah, Jaguar 1s, the advantage of them is that they have 6 front armor, and so they can take a hit from basically anything and not die. I suppose a TOW 2 would kill it, but tank wouldn't. And then the ATGM hits the enemy tank and suppresses it or whatever, and then you smoke him back and he's useless. He has to go back and repair or at least get his smoke back. And so you've served your... Oh, here they are. So the Jaguar 2 does have more AP, but the Jaguar 1 gets a lot more missiles, it's cheaper, and that's all there is to it, I think. So another HE2 coming out here. CV's just kind of hanging out. I'm not sure, it's the second time we've seen that happen now. But yeah, for some reason Axis hasn't bought his Eyehawk or anything. You know, 1 Eyehawk back here would be pretty useful. It's weird, actually. I saw another game of his and he just didn't buy him for like the whole game. He might have got one right at the end. I suppose he's relying mainly on his tornadoes, but you know, the Eyehawk is half the price, and if you put it like, you know, here, then you can sort of cover this. Not really, but nothing's really happening here. And yeah, you see so the M110 would kill that at that range. Basically, I mean, you can get unlucky, but it's interesting. You can see him moving, right? But yeah, I'm surprised nothing's happened, because like the BTR-80s, right? I know people get into this kind of mindset. It's a BMP3 there. I'll explain that later. They get into this mindset that this is where the fight's happening, but like this is fast, and so what you can do is you can literally just send it all the way back here, round here, round here, round the side, down here, up here, and then try and kill something. You can just shift queue it up. You don't have to look at it again, and that's a lot better than just running them into a room full of tanks and dying. But yeah, one wonders what it's all about here. I mean, so if I was gnef at this point, I'd sort of have a picket line here, although I appreciate everybody's dead because of how aggressively he's been pushing. And then I'd swing over here and do something over here, because the enemy is just constantly reinforcing this. And so you're not getting in, basically. You're probably not getting in. because look how much stuff is here. Obviously you can't see that, but you can sort of get to the point where you expect these kind of things. Okay, so that has been given an immediate reverse order. This guy is just sort of chilling out. This probably still gonna die. I mean, it depends on that next round. Yeah, there it goes. This is the Conqueror's M, 23 pen, enough to one-shot 9 armor, which is this. Yeah, you see, he brings his tanks at no vet, which I think is a huge mistake, actually. I don't really understand that. And yeah, like, this could be closer, then it would miss less, and then the first volley would have killed it. Instead, 2 volleys... Oh, actually, this one might get it. No, okay. Well, no, this one's definitely going to miss if the previous one did. Yeah. So if this was closer, that would have died because the dispersion's less, and so you get the kills. T80 BV plinking away. And yeah, double Iglas stacked again. Not sure how he spotted that, frankly. Must have seen them go in the building, I suppose. Interesting. And yeah, looks like these are going to die. Power of the M110, right? But yeah, I don't know what's going on there, really. There's only one Tunguska, I suppose. Although, yeah, the triple Igla Tunguska combo killed one plane. You'd expect it to not be the Siege, you'd expect it to be the Fighter, but okay. Yeah, so he's got to move this now, because that's what the RT's going to hit next, presumably. Did I mention both of these players used to be rank 1? Obviously not at the same time. But gnef was rank 1 with 1st Spanish, and Axis was rank 1 with 2nd Panzer. I know that might be something of a surprise to you, but he does play 2nd Panzer on occasion. So, yeah. More RT, more party, and as you can see, the 27Y player is losing a lot of these trades because of how aggressively he's been pushed. So he has actually come over here now, but you see how much blue there is now, and that's because the 27Y player, not only are his units more expensive in general, but he's been pushing very, very aggressively, and so he's losing all his stuff. So that's obviously not ideal, but yes, he's swinging it around here, which I do think is intelligent. And yeah, if you got an ATGM here, you can sort of block stuff, but honestly, like 2 things in one building again. This guy's not been given an order. But there's no AA. You'll notice he's pushing without AA into, you know, plane spam, basically. So... Oh, that's weird. That should... Oh, I see. This is one-shot 4 armor. This is 5 armor. Yeah. So, like, these are very expensive, so it's hard to... It's hard to build them up, and then you get engine destroyed because you're bad, and... But he did actually manage to get in here, like, so imagine if he'd remembered these existed, which he has done just now, and he used these for smoke, and he, you know, because he's in here, so all you got to do is hide behind there, smoke, 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 and then you just run this in, and then you're in, actually, but... So, the Tunguska might get this, guess not, but, okay, if Tornado finally hit something... And yeah, he's got both M110s out now, so he's going to be able to kill many units. And yeah, these Nonas should really be attacking over here because this is where the fighting's happening, right? So this is the sort of thing you want to be shooting at. Also, I assumed he bought him so he could smoke here and get stuff in, but... You know, maybe not. Yeah, so he's got a CV, right? And you can always approach from this way, because the off-road speed's really nice, actually. 75 kilometers an hour on these BTR-80s. This is probably dead. Right, this'll fling a missile at it, presumably. And... Never mind, he didn't turn it enough. Yeah. BMP-3 is nice on the defense, but... So that's generally the idea behind this div. You play it on the defense, and then you, Okay. you play it on the defense. You know, there's BMP3s and stuff on the defense, T80BVs on the defense, and if this was right-clicked on that, it would have got more bullets off, and it might have won that fight. And then at the end, you sort of figure it out. But yeah, so presumably these were supposed to be smoking here, but he's just sort of, or he's trying to rely on the BTR-80s for smoke. But like, what's he doing? Way too aggressive with these 27Y units. Yeah, that could have gone better, frankly. All he had to do was use the artillery to smoke, or use the BTR-80s and pop all the smoke on that. I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's just feeding. Everybody's dying. Yeah, what can I say? It happens. So you'd expect an Axis counterattack, because I mean, big kill advantage. It's a shame there's no graphs or anything, but you can just tell from the amount of units. Right, each row is what, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 rows. So that's 54 units, right? And there's nothing like that here. It's like less than 4 rows. I mean, obviously there's some more stuff coming, but there's some more stuff coming here. So, and all the planes as well. Blue's still got more planes up. But yeah, 2nd Panzergren's unit's obviously a lot more cost efficient than 27Y's. But okay, that's pretty funny. So yeah, he's going for the arty there, and he does actually get it. So that was a good strike, but I mean, it says more about Red's AA net and the lack of it. And you know, he had all these tanks here, and when he did this big attack, the tanks were just sat here doing nothing. Whereas if they'd been here as well, you know, and then maybe he brought the Tunguska around, so he just surrendered. Okay. So yeah, you can see there's a big kill difference there. Big kill difference there. But yeah, he's on an alt account. But his alt's rank 15. This is Axis rank 4. He did actually play 2 games of something other than 2nd Panzergren. Who knows what it was. But yeah, your rank 4 versus rank 15. That was a very weird game. I don't know what it is. Maybe, you know, my brain's too fast now, so everything feels like it's in slow motion. But that was weird, man. You would, you know, you'd expect a bit more jazz from such highly ranked players. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that game. I'll see you in the next one. GG.